Throughout history, there have been wars against religions. Today, there is a war going on that is being fought in America and all around the world. According to an organization that goes by the name of Anonymous, Scientology is considered a cult.
Has child enslavement issues, has sexual abuse issues that they hide. They hide the fact that there are people dying.
Anonymous is a group that has no leader, no central meeting place. The only way they spread information is through the internet. They plan to bring down Scientology once and for all, and they won't stop until Scientology is no longer a valid religion. Meet L. Ron Hubbard. Born in 1911 in the small town of Tilden, Nebraska, L. Ron Hubbard later became a college dropout from George Washington University due to poor grades. After leaving the university, Hubbard became a writer. His first novels were about aviation, sports, fictional magazines, and even screenplays. In 1950, an article was published in Astounding Science Fiction called Dianetics by L. Ron Hubbard. The book is about self-improving the mind by using counseling techniques that bring therapeutic benefits. When Hubbard's book became better known, he was awarded an honorary PhD by Sequoia University, a non-accredited degree mill which is now shut down. In December of 1953, Hubbard declared Scientology a religion, and the first church of Scientology was founded in Camden, New Jersey. But why is there controversy over this religion? The Bill of Rights clearly mentions freedom of religion.
They pretend that they're self-help people. They pretend they can help you with your marriage. They pretend they can help you with money problems. And really all they do is they just take all of your money. And then when you don't have anything left to give, they'll either put you to work or they'll get rid of you.
Now meet Anonymous. This single person is not named Anonymous, but the name refers to an online group of many different people with many different opinions. Anonymous has no group leader, no central meeting place, or no single purpose, except to express each other's opinion. Anonymous has earned a bad reputation with many different people. Fox News has referred to them as
hackers on steroids.
We get a lot of bad press saying that we're all hackers. In fact, Fox News called us hackers on steroids and said that we were the internet hate machine. I would not consider myself a hacker. In fact, I don't think the majority of Anonymous would consider themselves hackers or even do things that other people consider hacking. There are some technically advanced and knowledgeable people in the group, obviously. We have people from all walks of life, so yeah, we're going to get some of those people. And yeah, some of them are going to do some things that they shouldn't. But that's not Anonymous.
To someone who has never heard of Anonymous, the sound of the idea might strike fear in them, and for a good reason. What does this group of hackers on steroids have to do with Scientology? Scientology has had some bad press as well. Lisa McPherson was a Scientologist. On November 18, 1995, Lisa was involved in a car accident after going through auditing, a process invented by Scientologists that claims to handle a psychotic or mental break. She then walked out of the car unharmed, but seemed to be in a mentally unstable state as she began ripping off her clothes. She was then taken to a hospital to be taken care of. While she was in the hospital, Scientologists arrived and stated that Lisa did not need psychiatric care and proceeded to check her out of the hospital. Lisa then stayed with the Scientologist for rest and relaxation. Lisa McPherson was found dehydrated and underweight. She died on the way to the hospital. Another thing that Anonymous does not approve of is the fact that Scientologists pay major websites like YouTube to censor content that includes information on Scientology that can be used against them. The most widespread and widely used search engine, Google, has also been caught censoring websites from its search engines about Scientology.
Nothing, and I mean nothing, should be censored on the internet. Ever. I'm not saying that porn should get into the hands of kids, but I am saying that information should be out there. It should never be censored, and Scientology is the last thing that we want to hide information for.
People wish to stop Scientologists before anything else happens, similar to the case of Lisa McPherson. An example of a previous cult with an unfortunate demise is the People's Temple. Jim Jones, the founder of the People's Temple, has earned a good reputation for helping the poor in his community and starting and supporting soup kitchens. Some people criticize Jones's rule over the church and some of the decisions he made. He then moved to Guyana, where he literally created his own town called Jonestown and convinced 900 residents to move with him, claiming that it was a paradise. Leo Ryan, a U.S. congressman at the time, needed to investigate the claims of abuse and flew over to Jonestown and was gunned down by the followers of People's Temple on the runway. Jim Jones then convinced many of his followers to drink poison mixed with fruit punch. Those who refused were strangled, shot, or injected with the poison by force. In the end, 913 people died. Of those, 270 were children.
There's nothing to worry about. Everybody keep calm and try and keep your children calm. Aren't crying from pain. It's just a little bitter tasting, but they're not crying out of any pain.
Anonymous could not stand and wait for Scientologists' next victim. They decided to take action.
Anonymous has therefore decided that your organization should be destroyed, for the good of your followers, for the good of mankind and for our own enjoyment.
They called it Project Chanology. At first, not a lot of members went along with it. Other members saw it as a joke, since only one member proposed the idea. Then the idea grew over time, and more people decided to go along with it. It was the beginning of a war. At first, plans were made to attack the Scientologist website by using a DDoS, or Distributed Denial of Service, attack. Another attack against Scientology was made when Anonymous created what's called a Google bomb. A Google bomb means that the word Scientology is searched with the words dangerous cult, which tells Google that those search terms are related. Then, whenever someone searches for dangerous cult, Google automatically comes up with the search terms for Scientology. This may not be the case anymore since Google has fixed the problem. They needed physical action. Anonymous decided to stage protests all around the world. However, this would not be a simple task. It would embarrass Anonymous if they planned a worldwide protest and a few people showed up. It was a risk they were willing to take. Scientologists knew a protest was going to happen. Then, on January 10, 2008, the first major protest was held. Anonymous did not break any laws during the protest, but Scientologists were furious with Anonymous. An official response was created as a video on the popular video sharing site YouTube.
To justify inciting others to commit hate crimes against the Church, Anonymous claims the right to free speech contained in the First Amendment, while showing contempt for the first part of that same amendment that guarantees the freedom of religion.
Anonymous has not stopped, however. There have been many protests held all around the world and many more planned in the upcoming months. In the first major protest held on February, an estimated 8,418 people showed up. In another protest held on March 15th, almost 10,000 people showed up worldwide. In April 12th, only 5,190 showed up. More protests are planned later in the year and popularity is growing. But Anonymous has already made a crucial accomplishment for their plan: to inform people of the dangerous cult that is Scientology. The war continues.